These are the best books I've read all year so far. We'll start off with an honorable mention. Hearts in Atlantis was fantastic. It really surprised me, and I liked every single story in here. Yeah, really underrated Stephen King book. Alright, sitting at number 10, we got Hollywood by Charles Bukowski. It was great to return to Bukowski after about 10 years. And this book was a lot happier than his other novels. Great victory lap for my boy. At number 9, it's Golden Son by Pierce Brown. Huge difference from the first book. Fantastic. This thing is pretty badass. At number 8, we have this giant book, 11/22/63. Yeah, Stephen King's at his best here. I really can't think of anything bad to say about it. At number 7, we have High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. The film is very special to me, and the fact that this was so similar to it was great. I love this thing, and I will read it again soon. At number 6, we have a book that really surprised me, Outer Dark by Cormac McCarthy. Yeah, this was amazing. This was better than Blood Meridian, in my opinion. Definitely made me a fan of his. Alright, we're getting down to it now. We have The Dark Tower by Stephen King at number 5. Maybe this is a hot take, but this is actually my favorite book in the series. It's not perfect, and I have issues with it, but I love it. It really was emotionally impactful to get to the end of this series. This is awesome. Read The Dark Tower if you haven't read The Dark Tower. At number 4, we have a book that utterly destroyed me at the end. It is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is a dangerous book in a lot of ways. I think it's important that people read this at least once in their lives. At number 3, we have Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I've not stopped thinking about this thing since I read it. Not an easy read, but a very rewarding one. One of the most profound books I've ever read. At number 2, we have Stoner by John Williams. This is honestly one of the best things I've ever read. I felt a lot of emotions reading this book, and I just can't say enough good things about it. It really does live up to the hype. Speaking of living up to the hype, my number 1 pick, you know it, you love it, it's Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. What can I say about this book that hasn't already been said? There has not been a piece of literature that has lived up to the hype quite like this thing. It was so good that it inspired me to start a YouTube channel. I doubt that any book I read this year will dethrone this, but we'll see. You never know. What's the best book you guys have read this year? What should I read next? Let me know.